Hello and welcome to the V2 Football Podcast. I'm your host Shane Lees, and joining me this week I've got Nick Davey.
Top of the morning to you.
Chris Lappin.
Evening.
And Richard Hurrah Hodgson.
Good evening.
Now we're going to get straight into it this week, and we're going to talk about the English decline, or the alleged English decline. And what we're talking about specifically is the Champions League, the Europa League. English sides just aren't doing very well at the moment. Now I want to ask...
The Southern decline this week.
I want to ask specifically, do we think, actually, first things first, do we actually think there is an English decline? And secondly, if there is, how do we think we can stop it?
Well, if you look over the last few years, then there is a dip, certainly, going on. Because this year they'll be taking out the 10-11 or the 11-12 results from the coefficiency.
I think it's done 4 or 5 years.
We'll be okay for next season. It'll be the season after.
This will be the one where United's last final comes out.
Also, we should mention on the coefficients thing, that is basically being calculated if we lose the fourth spot, if we do as badly as we did last year in all European competitions, and if Italy do as well as they did last year. And I don't think either of those are quite as likely to happen.
Italy only enter 3 teams then?
Yes.
They only enter 3, and one was already knocked out, wasn't it? Or was Napoli still in it?
No.
I'm fairly certain they were knocked out.
They're in Europa League.
Yeah, and Roma also got battered.
By bait.
Yeah, so it is down to Juventus. They won last night, while 2 English clubs won. You get 2 points for a win in the group stage, but then you only get 1 point for each round thereafter. So it is.
What the bloody hell's happened to the Milans?
Well, they've been banned for a while.
For a few years.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask a few individual questions. Is this Man United team as good as, say, the Man United teams that have won previous Champions League? Is it better, around the same, or is it just other teams have got better, better than them, or is this team just worse?
I don't think it's as good, but it's still good. I think they've got the midfield right now. Well, I was thinking this last night, actually. The midfield's very good, centre mid. They've actually got leaders as well. Schweinsteiger, Schneiderlin, Carrick, Hurrah can do a job. So I think the midfield's good.
They've turned a corner.
Yeah. I think they're still missing a leader at the back.
I'm not talking about over the course of the last few games. I'm talking about over the course of seasons here. Is this Man United team as good as it has been in past years when it was really competing in Europe? No. Okay. Now the next question I want to ask, I don't want to focus too much on Man United. Is this Arsenal team as good as good as it has been in previous years in Europe in the Premier League?
Well, yes. Yeah, it has. It is really.
Okay, so the Arsenal team, we're saying yes. I think that's most people just.
Yeah, but
yes.
How far back are we going?
We're going back, say, 2006. 2006, about around there.
No.
Yeah, well, the Man United team from that time, and in that period since, especially when they won it v Chelsea, is obviously a lot better than the United team currently. But there hasn't been a particularly good Arsenal team during that period.
Okay, Chelsea. Is this Chelsea team the best Chelsea team that have been in the last about 10 years, or have there been better Chelsea teams?
Well, I think last year.
Chelsea's last year is probably...
better Chelsea teams. Man City. Is this the best Man City team ever?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay, so Man City, the only one we're saying there is a genuine improvement on previous teams.
I think
I'd say Arsenal was
Arsenal as well.
Okay, Arsenal have improved too, even though that they are doing the worst in Europe at the moment. So, is there maybe a grounds for saying that although there is not an English decline in the technical sense, in the sense I'd say the English league has got better from both Premier League, the Championships, even feeding down from there, but the top 4 have got worse?
I think it's a case of small teams in Europe getting better rather than... Oh, hi, by the way.
Hello, Mr. Stranger.
Genuinely, I think it's a case of smaller teams getting better, like teams like Porto, Monaco, who have both played English opposition and done all right. I think it's a case of them getting better as much as it is English teams maybe declining. I think teams are a lot more fearless now in Europe and will be more willing to attack and not fear an English opponent. I think the same goes for the likes playing like a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid. They don't fear them as much. They'll be more willing to attack, and therefore I think they're more able to get results than they were
And I think with Arsenal as well, the other night against Olympiacos, they just turned up presuming they'd win.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, but if we're not saying these teams have got better, and we're saying that a lot of these teams have in fact got worse, then we are saying they have declined. That's what getting worse is. They've declined over the years.
We were two better, two worse.
Okay, two better, two worse. But then also, have the European teams got stronger?
Yes.
I'm talking about the top level European teams, your Portos, your Bayern Munichs, all of it. Have they got stronger than they were?
Definitely.
Just using better tactics as well.
So both relatively and within the league, have the top four, have the top sort of six, we'll say, got worse than they were, say, around 10 years ago between that period?
I wouldn't say Bayern Munich have got better.
I would say they've got better. I think they're seen as good as Real Madrid and Barcelona when they weren't. Going to your question,
you go back 3 years ago
top
and
six
they
have
were
stagnated.
I would say Bayern Munich have relatively gotten better, but compared to I think where they were before, they're about the same. But they've maintained their distance between them and the other teams. I'd say that's what Bayern Munich have done. The point I'm trying to get to is we're often not willing to admit there has been an English decline, but it almost kind of seems quite obvious that, especially at the top level, there has been a decline both in the domestic league, because now the top four is closer than ever,
if you
and
look
in
at
Europe.
Leverkusen, not Leverkusen, what are they called? Mönchengladbach.
That's Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, and Wolfsburg. They both looked very good against the Manchester clubs. And probably, if you took a couple of players out of either, you just put them in the Manchester clubs, you would have noticed a drop in level of player. I think because they're developing their own players. I think which a German guy is thanking the Premier League for giving them all this money because they develop their own players and then they get the pressure people buy them.
Okay, there is a point Arsene Wenger made, which was that a lot of these European teams, your likes of Porto, your likes of even Olympiacos, have a big advantage in the sense that they completely dominate their league. They filter off all the talent in that league, go straight to those top teams. Is this what's holding back the Premier League? That there is not this monopoly in the English league. There are a whole bunch of teams who can win, a whole bunch of teams who can compete for top four, whereas these leagues, they completely monopolise it. They don't have to worry about winning the league. It's almost a given. They can focus everything on the Champions League. Do we think this is a legitimate point? Because he made this point before the game, not after.
That's a good point.
No, I disagree to a point, because then you're going from games where you just have to turn up to then having to play a very competitive game, and it's going from like the being in the cold out to suddenly the hot. It's not a constant thing. Like you could say that Celtic should be bossing it in Europe on that level.
Okay, well,
yeah, but Scotland was Scotland's a really small country. It's a really small country there.
Greece is a really small country.
Yeah, Portugal's not exactly massive.
Yeah, but Scotland's like part of England.
Yeah, but Russia's a big country. Shouldn't they have the best team?
Hi, Scottish viewers.
Bye, Scottish viewers. Okay, right.
That bloke on the bus is going to kill me.
I think we're sort of agreeing there is maybe a case for a bit of decline at the top level. Okay, so
did you see Gianluca Vialli's quote saying that we're not as good defensively as we were when he played in the Premier League?
Yeah, it's all become a bit.
He doesn't know whether it's just the English people. So I don't think he was blaming English. I think because we brought in so many foreigners, we've lost.
Well, the French reporter said about Martial, why he's doing so well in the English league, is because English defenders are crap.
It's hard to disagree with that assessment. Okay, but if there is some degree of an English decline, maybe if it's only at the top level, whereas I do think every other part of English football has got considerably better, and I think it is a lot better than it is on the continent, especially when you go down the leagues. If there is an English decline, how does it get corrected?
I think it's just cyclical. I think that you look at the United side, at the forward line that they're putting together with Memphis and Martial and that Pereira that's going to be coming in over the next couple of years. It's two 19-year-olds and a 21-year-old. They're going to be getting bigger and better every year with the money that they're going to be spending. And the money that's now in the English league, the top four clubs will be challenging Barca and Real for the big money signings every year. The plus that Barca and Real have is just that if you've got a choice of playing in Manchester every week in, week out, or playing in Barcelona, it's a no-brainer as to which club you go to.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here and argue against you. I think the money could be a problem. Because all of a sudden it's too easy for these teams to go out and spend money on foreign players, on players who are by and large there for personal glory, not team glory. If a team starts losing, their heads go down. It's not my fault. It's everyone else's. It's no longer about the team. The money gets spent when you don't develop a proper team. Whereas I think on the continent, even clubs like Bayern Munich commit to their own talent. Even
Real don't.
Real don't, and Real have actually got quite a history in recent years of not being very successful. The clubs that are committing to their own talent and not just spending money willy-nilly are generally having more success than the ones that aren't. So and we can look at the last sort of 10 years as proof of that. So we maybe not say that the money is part of a problem rather than a solution.
No, because you look at the big clubs across Europe, they throw money. Although Barcelona have a few players that they brought through, there's not many that are left there. I know that you've got your Messis and such, but the rest of that side, Neymar, Suarez, the likes of them, they didn't come cheap.
No, definitely not. Okay, we'll talk a bit about Arsenal now. We're going to stick to the European thing. Why don't Arsenal work at all in Europe?
Well, they do. I think because in recent years, the group stages, they usually just seem to boss it.
And then go out almost immediately afterwards.
I think it's when they go out immediately afterwards. But this year, we actually see them struggle against the lesser teams, so to speak. No disrespect to Zagreb and Olympiacos. I don't get it.
Because Arsenal never have a plan B.
I think it's Wenger. I think Wenger really is the problem now. I think they've got.
I feel last night was a must-win game, and he didn't play his full team.
I really think it's Wenger's the problem now. If
you lose your first game, you've got to win your second game when your next two games are Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think Arsenal, when it came to especially last night's game, I think their problem was arrogance. I think they looked at games like Zagreb and Olympiacos and said, we're going to win home and away, we've just got to worry about Bayern Munich, so whether or not we're going to get first or second. And they didn't take those games seriously. They dropped Cech, one of the most experienced goalkeepers in Europe and the Premier League, dropped him. I can't understand that decision at all. These are the big games. These are the games you rest your players for, not you rest your players in. I think it was arrogance. I thought they thought Olympiacos, we can roll over them with our subs.
He's saying he's got a niggle in, is it knee injury or thigh injury, but he wants him fit for United at the weekend.
Cech said he was fit, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't buy that whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
It's bollocks. That is, frankly. There's
I
no
think
way.
Arsenal were ridiculously unlucky, though, the other day. They shouldn't have lost the game, and I do agree that arrogance played a part.
What?
They were so unlucky. I thought they were unlucky. I thought going forward, Sanchez, Walcott looked really good, and it was just stupid mistakes rather than it being a bad team performance.
I thought Arsenal played completely into Olympiacos' hands.
I agree with both people there, weirdly. I do think their demise was a bit overstated. Olympiacos had 4 chances and they scored 3 goals. I mean, it was clinical.
But conceding 3 goals at home to Olympiacos,
and that's the point. Even if they have only those chances, they shouldn't score, especially not as immediately as they did. But do we think there's a reason why Arsenal have maybe not done as well as they could have or should have done in the Champions League in recent years?
For me, Arsenal are a fair weather team. When things are going right for them, then they look a lovely team. But your Sanchez's, your Ozils or Ozils, all going forward, they're a beauty to watch. But when you get them stuck in a rut and you're kicking them about and you're going at them, they don't have another option to go at. They don't have a spine to the team.
They don't. You're right. It's a mental thing, I think, to them. There's just no mental strength. There's no winning mentality amongst that team. I think it's pretty obvious, and it has.
They needed a Cambiasso.
Cambiasso would be excellent there. He'd sort out.
I think someone said it on the
they
podcast.
need just basically a player with a big set of bollocks to just go around and kick people.
I think the problem is they have too many players with 2 big bollocks and 2 small brains. I think Jack Wilshere that applies to absolutely perfectly.
And Ramsey.
Okay.
They need a Vieira.
Yeah, they do. It's pretty obvious. I think the last 5 years they've needed. Well, since Vieira left, they've needed a new Vieira, and they've not got one.
I think they need a striker as well.
Well, didn't the chairman stroke owner said he had £200 million to spend in the summer, and he spent 10 million?
Okay, but all right.
That's what you want to. That's what you want to read, Dan.
Essentially, what we're saying here is Arsenal's problem is they didn't have the right players. Ergo, they have to go out and buy the players with more money. Is it, again, we talked about it being cyclical before in terms of how it all comes back around. But would this not just possibly be compounding the problem? Because Arsenal they've had years to spend this money. They've had, even when they were building the stadium, they still had money. They weren't a poor club. And yet in over 10 years now, they haven't actually spent that money correctly. With the exception of maybe Sanchez.
And Ozil.
And yeah, maybe Ozil. I think a lot of people would debate that one.
I wouldn't.
I don't know, he seems to like to bring in this one marquee signing each summer. But then he brought the marquee signer in Czech this year, but then didn't bring anybody else in to give competition to the players that are already there. So,
but everyone was saying Arsenal title favourites and stuff.
Well, they did have an impressive side at the start of the year, but then I think everyone forgot that sides on paper don't necessarily work out to be winning sides, and I forgot that. I thought they were
also injuries and stuff. Look at their backup.
Yep, and the fact they have absolutely no mental strength whatsoever.
I think
Wenger's an
everyone
idiot.
who looks up for a fight is Gabriel, and he picked a fight with Costa, which was.
Okay,
I just think Wenger's time's got to come to an end soon.
I've got to ask you a question.
He's like old Yeller.
I love him still being there just because it winds Piers Morgan up.
Oh, that's brilliant! Yeah, I like seeing Morgan going to meltdown on Twitter.
I like
That
Wenger
bloke's such a
being there.
moron. It's so funny, and it's so funny when he starts tweeting stuff like, "I love Aaron Ramsey," and then someone retweets a tweet from like a couple of years ago saying, "I don't understand Ramsey. He's the worst signing ever in history."
I have to say, I'll be kind of
Bloke's a
sad
muppet.
when Wenger retires, because for me, that'll be the end of a certain Premier League era. With the section of Mourinho, you'll have no one from
that's true.
the golden Premier League area, not before.
He completely revolutionised English football.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Okay, let's make a presumption here. For some reason, Wenger decides he's going to keep going for another 5 years, including this year.
Good luck, Arsenal.
Can we see Arsenal winning the Champions League or even reaching the final within 5 years?
No.
No chance.
No. Well, it depends if they actually went outside.
We've made like a lot of exceptions saying, oh, Arsenal's squad isn't so bad, and then we would just go, yeah, no chance in hell. Okay, right, finally we're going to talk about Chelsea, and we're not just talking about Europe here, but we're talking about the Premier League as well.
Can I just jump in on that one?
At one point, yeah.
About Arsenal, that their side from 4 or 5 years ago was getting fourth was a good result for them.
Yeah.
And now, fourth is a bad result, so they have improved, but they're still not at a level where they're the top notch.
Tell you what, I gotta say, for me, if a side improves but actually ends up with worse results, that's not an improvement. That means
they are
you've
improving because they're now winning trophies.
Yeah, but
They've
if
won a trophy the last 2 years, and they finished third.
If you have technically better players, but at no point are you actually improving in practice, you aren't improving. You can have as great a team as you want. If it doesn't do the job on the pitch, you're a worse team.
Yeah, but they are improving because they've won trophies they've won the FA Cup the last 2 years.
I would say they're improving at a snail's pace relative to a lot of other teams who are improving quicker. I think that's the problem with football clubs. Every club improves every year, as far as I'm concerned. Just about every club improves every year. The problem is other clubs improve a hell of a lot better than you in the space of 1 year. And Arsenal they're at a snail's pace. But I want to move on from Arsenal because we've spent quite a lot of time talking about that. Chelsea, I want to talk about Chelsea, and we're talking again about more than just the Champions League, it's the Premier League. Is their collapse overstated, or is it absolute apocalypse scenario at Chelsea at the moment?
No, I think they're fine.
You think they're fine?
I think Mourinho's got it under control. No, honestly, I do.
I disagree on that.
I think
he seems to have lost it.
people are exaggerating. Apart from this doctor incident, I think people are exaggerating. I think he's accepting that a few of his players are pretty crap at the moment. Ivanovic.
I think his refusal to drop Ivanovic, but he'll drop Terry.
But Ivanovic is
Then he spends like 20 million on a left back and refuses to play him and moves the guy who's at left back to right back, where it's his natural position.
For me, Ivanovic is one player in a team, and players can only get so much worse over the course of one summer. They really don't decline that quickly. For me, what's going wrong with Chelsea, it has to be a mental thing, it has to be a confidence thing, and all of that comes from the manager. I would not want to see Mourinho lose his job. I think he's one of the best things about the Premier League, regardless of whether or not he's just a massive dick. He is one of the best things in the Premier League. But I do think at this point, the collapse is not just a media thing. This is a real thing, because They haven't put in any kind of good performance all season. Even the one against Arsenal, they lucked out on the fact that they managed to get Gabriel sent off wrongly.
There is serious... You could just tell with the body language of a lot of the players that there is seriously something wrong in the core of the club at the moment. But you look at the players that are there, and they're players that can easily turn it round. They've got several top-level players at the club. That they won the title last year. It's not like when United won the title and then the year afterwards they had the collapse. Fergie got a lot better out of players that shouldn't have won it. Chelsea players are top-level players, but there is something wrong with Mourinho at the moment there.
Was the loss against Porto overstated? Because after that was the match I watched, I thought it was a very close run thing. Probably should have been a draw, but even so, losing away to Porto I think that's pretty much an acceptable result, especially in the way we did it for most teams in Europe. Most teams are going to go to Porto and expect to win.
Porto aren't as great as... No. They're not that great, Porto.
They're not great, but it's a side... If you went to the Porto Stadium and got a draw, I think most teams, even the likes of Real Madrid, would go, that's an alright result because we can beat them at home, and therefore we'll probably top the group.
No.
I agree. I think Porto are a very strong side at home, especially, and yeah, I think it's an acceptable result. Obviously, it's an annoying result, but
yeah, they'll win every other game, I think, because it's their toughest game they're going to have, as everyone said, and I don't think there's any need to panic.
I still think they'll top the group there, Chelsea. I think they'll match Porto's results until the end of the group stage and beat them at home, and probably have the same amount of points, but go for on something like goal difference.
And they've got a tough game this weekend, haven't they, in the Premier League?
Admittedly, I do think the collapse is a hell of a lot worse than a lot of people are trying to admit.
Who is it again?
Porto?
No, Chelsea.
Chelsea. Oh, actually, I have it up somewhere. Where did I have that?
West Ham.
Chelsea v Southampton. That's right.
Yes, not that hard a game then.
Yeah, probably not.
Tough game, but I think up against Josie Fonto, they'll struggle.
Even I'm not that optimistic. Right, Anthony, you wanted to say a quick thing about Chelsea and Ava Carnero, the club doctor.
Yeah, it's people are saying that it's sexist what Mourinho said, and I think it's a load of crap. I think it's positive sexism in favour of Eva Carnero. People are saying there's been stuff going around that apparently Mourinho... Yeah.
Positive sexism. I think you mean positive discrimination.
I
don't think there's such a thing as positive sexism.
Yeah, positive discrimination. Like, I think purely because Eva Carnero is a woman, she's getting more support than she maybe should in the media.
Well, John Fern was also given the exact same treatment, and no one even mentions him because he's an ugly bloke.
Well, that's my point. Yeah, it's like it reminds me a bit of Siam Massey, the linesman, who because
quality.
No, the thing is it's a similar sort of example. She's obviously a woman in a male-dominated world in football who I remember when she was on Match of the Day or whatever, she would make an average offside call and would get these amazing plaudits for being amazing, and yet Eva Carnero is one of the best picks in the Premier League, and it's like nobody knows that. How is she the best medic in the Premier League? And
yeah, no one even knows what a medic really does apart from magic sponge.
Can we reel off some other medics in the Premier League?
If it was any other medic, I don't think there would be this sort of level of anger and hate towards Mourinho, and I think it's unfair towards the Chelsea manager, to be honest.
I mean, all he did was call her a daughter of a bitch, which is essentially son of a bitch, essentially.
Yeah, Puerta. But yeah, he wasn't saying it in a way which is sexist or anything. He was saying it just.
Well, if anything, he was being sexist towards Eva Carnero's mother.
So basically, he would just basically, if it was a man, he would just shout something like "you fucking idiot" or something.
just son of a bitch.
No, you daughter of a bitch, surely.
Well, no, if it was a bloke, he just said son of a bitch.
This has all gone to hell. Let's move on. We've got a game. Chris.
Hooray. Well, after the success of Triple Threat last week, I thought we'll go tag teams this week. So
we're from Dudleyville.
So a good way to split the team up is the people from the north, so Richard and Anthony versus the Southerners.
So basically the dirty Northerners.
I'll put it this way: the Lannisters beat the Starks, and this will happen again.
Dirty Northerners versus the Southerners.
Versus the inbreds.
Alright, so the side who goes first. Name the Premier League side that ends in an E.
Everton. No.
Chelsea. No, fuck.
Fuck you.
What is wrong with you?
Stoke.
Stoke is Stoke City.
I'm never playing with this person ever again in my life.
I'm being such
The
a
full
retard.
name ends in an E.
Crystal Palace.
Palace.
Yes.
I said that first.
You did not.
Right, but aren't Crystal Palace Football Club?
Yeah, but then every single one ends in a B.
Everybody's football club.
Exactly, it's Stoke City. So Stoke should have been fine. Anyway, yeah, move on.
Alright, so
Shane,
first
don't
question.
just scream answers out, confer with me.
I was wondering about that, about conferring. How does it work?
Whisper.
I think we
can't
talk
see.
to each other.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we can't see each other, we can't put a book up.
Yeah, but we have a question, and then we can choose what our answer is, and then we give our answer.
Yeah, because
You know, like how on TV it works.
Oh.
get passed over.
How do we even manage to tie our own shoelaces?
Okay. Alright, first question. So England hosted the World
Wait,
Cup.
who are
in
you asking?
1996.
Is this everyone?
That's Richard. Richard's going first.
Right.
They're
okay.
going first.
The
Hey.
Northerners are going first.
I forgot about that.
Hang on, do we confer or do we do a question each?
Jesus Christ, it's like herding cats.
Questions don't get passed over, so you can talk.
Okay.
So England hosted the World Cup in 1966 and the Euros in 1996. I'm going to name a ground, and I want you to tell you whether it was a venue in just 66, just 96, or in both. So, for example, the White City Stadium was used in 1966 only.
Right.
So I'll do two easy ones first. So Wembley Stadium.
I think that was for both.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Okay. Southerners. Old Trafford.
What do you reckon, Shane? Should we confirm?
I think this is what conferring is. I reckon.
I'd say both.
It seems like it would be both, but I reckon this is a trick. Like, it seems so obvious.
I reckon Chris has got something off his sleeve.
Alright, we'll say both.
Both, yep. Okay. Northerners. Villa Park.
I would say probably both, but I have no idea with any confidence.
'Cause you are a piece of me.
I would say both.
Both?
Yeah, it's got to be both.
Yeah. Okay, Anfield.
Sure. What do you reckon, Shane? I reckon both.
I don't think that was in the World Cup. I reckon Euros.
Right, I'll take your word for it.
We'll
Yeah.
go in Euros.
96 only, yep.
Yes.
Well, good boy.
Okay, City Ground.
Biscuit, good boy. Stay.
The City Ground is in
Nottingham Forest City Ground.
Nottingham Forest.
Ooh, think about how big they were back in '66. Well, it's true.
I don't think they were that big, were they? Then?
Yeah, 1966.
They came
Yeah,
big in the
Clough
late
is-
70s when they were under Clough, but I don't think they were.
That wasn't the question.
Are any
I
of
think
them?
it's just 96.
I was going to say just 66, but I'm not confident at all.
So what you got to go with?
I'm going 96. I'm over.
Richard, you can have the final say.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not.
Just 96. Ellen Road, Southerners.
I reckon just
See, I
96.
thought I was doing.
Yeah, I'm going to go... Yeah, Nick, I think you're right. Just 96.
Yep.
Yes.
Hooray!
Northerners, Goodison Park.
Ugh,
Um,
that is so northern.
I think that's just 66.
Yep, just 66.
Yeah, my opinion counts.
Shane, it's right.
Your opinion's wrong.
I was going to say the same thing, luckily.
Hillsborough.
I reckon, Shane, that's both. No, or maybe just 66.
I'm going to say...
100% 66.
Was it? Yeah, I'm going to say... both. Go for both.
You go for both?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Both.
Yes.
Good work, see.
Okay.
Teamwork.
Pro conferring.
Roker Park.
Ugh, never heard of that. Roker Park.
It's Sunderland's old ground.
Oh, that's pretty crap.
Stadium of Light was I think early, about 98, 99.
So that'll be just 66 then.
That would be well,
Go with it.
just 66.
Yep. That's all. Full house for the Northerners. St James's Park.
Ooh.
See, I know that was in 96.
I reckon just 96.
I don't reckon that was in the World Cup. So, yeah, just 96.
Yep, full house.
You also have to think about locations, because we already had one for Sunderland in 66.
Yeah, they tend to just have one in each area. So,
so
there's North East.
I wouldn't have allowed
They
you to
didn't
say
for six. No, they had two in.
They had one in Middlesbrough, didn't they?
Yeah, the old Middlesbrough ground.
It's like the Rugby World Cup. They chose to use Brighton instead of Southampton.
Right, so well done.
Wait, did we both get all of them right?
5 all.
Yeah.
Damn.
Round one was easy.
Okay. Oh, I've accidentally turned a fan on somehow. We'll move on. We're talking about the England qualifiers, so it's games against Lithuania and Estonia.
Yep.
Okay, right, I got it all right. The team has been announced, and I haven't actually got it up.
Dele Alli.
Dele Alli has been included in the squad. Okay, there it is.
Whoa, Dele Alli. Oh, Dele Alli.
Okay, I'll just quickly read out the squad so everyone knows. In goal, we've got Jack Butland, Joe Hart, and Tom Heaton.
Hey, Tom Heaton.
Tom Heaton. In defence, there's Ryan Bertrand, Gary Cahill, Nathaniel Klein, Kieran Gibbs, Phil Jagielka, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, and John Stones. In midfield, it's Dele Alli, Ross Barkley, Michael Carrick, Adam Lallana, James Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, John Joe Shelby, and Raheem Sterling. And the forwards are Danny Ings, Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Jamie Vardy, and Theo Walcott. So what do we all think about that squad, first of all?
Crap.
Okay, Richard, you were first in with crap. Can you expand upon crap?
Just look at the quality of it. It's.
Well, who would you bring in and take out?
Well, that's just it. You take some of them out, and it's just as much crap that you're putting in.
Instead of doing this discussion, shouldn't we just go and copy and paste it from a month ago?
So essentially, you're just saying any England squad we could have possibly picked would have probably been crap.
Phil Jones is going in. Phil Jones is he came on. What was it, about 60 minutes into the game yesterday?
It makes you wonder about Danny Ings. Danny Ings was awesome for Burnley. And he hasn't done much for Liverpool. All he's done is play in Brendan Rodgers' left wing full forward back role, and I just don't get it really. Danny Ings, what's he done at Liverpool?
Ings is probably in because Callum Wilson was meant to be called up, wasn't he? But then he got injured.
I've got to go against the grain for once in an England discussion and say I don't mind this squad at all.
I agree.
don't mind it.
Why is Phil Jones in that squad?
Broadly agree with you, Shane.
Okay, I mean, there's maybe a few players I would rather have seen in and taken out. For instance, I think Phil Jagielka is like the opposite of Danny Welbeck, who has never done it in an England shirt. He's always looked subpar.
Is Dele Alli in it for experience? He's not if he plays.
It could be. I mean, it's 2 games that we're already qualified, and we're probably going to win them anyway.
He's played 3 Premier League games.
I mean,
one player I'd have called up is Eric Dier.
Yeah, Eric Dyer I would have called up, and James Ward-Prowse are the only other 2 players I'd have liked to have seen involved because they've been heavily involved in the Premier League for, I think, the better part of 2 years now, and they're good. Ward-Prowse is Southampton, but there's not that many other better young central midfielders out there.
Yeah,
I'd have preferred to see Joe Mason or someone like that.
Who the hell is Joe Mason?
Ryan Mason, sorry.
Joe Mason was at Cardiff.
Ryan Mason isn't. I think Ryan Mason's injured. He got injured against someone.
Yeah. So I think it's broadly though. I agree with you, Shane. It's a good squad. I'm not happy with Jones being included. Vardy, I don't think is capable at this level. But other than that, I have no complaints.
Vardy's been like the best striker in England.
He's done well, but he's never going to be the future. He is. Well, to be fair, I can't think of any other strikers who deserve a chance more.
Vardy's been quality this season.
I think once Sturridge is fit, I don't think Vardy will be in the squad.
I'd rather Vardy than Walcott.
The thing, Walcott's been good so far this season, but the thing I'll say about Vardy is...
He's always awful for England,
the thing about Vardy is, yes, he probably isn't the future of the squad, and I have my doubts he'll be at the Euros, and he definitely won't be at the next World Cup. But in the form he's in at the moment, he is probably up there as among the best English players in the Premier League so far. I'd say alongside Chris Smalling. Two best English players so far in the Premier League.
What left back have we got in this squad again?
Probably Ryan Bertrand.
Bertram and Gibbs.
So probably Bertrand, who I think will end up being our left back at the Euros because of Baines' injury and because of Shaw's injury. I think that those are the two left backs, unless we have other injuries we're likely to see at the Euros.
I reckon it'll be Gibbs.
What I'd like to say to all of you is if you put that squad and the Germany squad side by side, how many English players would get it? If you combine the two, how many English players would get it?
I am not going to answer that question because I straight up think we are not as good as Germany and we haven't been for a very long time, so it's a pointless question.
But you're not even probably getting one player in the team.
We all know we're not going to win the Euros. We all know we're not as good as Germany. What we're kind of hoping for is we sort of reach maybe the semi-finals. But I think we have a new era of England support where we're just pessimistically realistic.
And that's just based on football.
Yeah, we're no longer thinking we're great. We're thinking maybe to the future. 5
years and you'd have a couple, 2 or 3 players.
They just need to
that
play
you'd
some good
certainly
football.
get in an 11. But now you look through that squad. And there's just not one world-class player left.
I think Germany have very poor wing-backs, so I think both of our wing-backs can get in.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's always a problem when I'm playing as Germany on FIFA, because I bruise there.
FIFA.
It is a problem. I think, I agree. I think you'd have to have Rooney in any... I know he's in poor form at the moment, but I think Rooney's still a world-class player who gets into virtually any side, surely.
Yeah, and that's probably about it.
No, not in the form this season.
I agree. His form's been awful, but yeah.
Because you take Thomas Muller out of your Germany striking position to put Rooney in.
Well, Muller's plays on the right for Germany. They don't really. They play. They don't really have an out-and-out striker on the German side.
We can't... Rooney's not an out-and-out striker. He's starting to prove that. We can't compare ourselves to the Germans. That's not a team we're on par with. Maybe a better comparison would be the French, because both England and France are going through a fairly transitional period, where they've got potentially good up-and-coming players, some older players who are sort of on the way out, and some sort of shit players who are in the middle, and we just sort of have to use them. So maybe the better comparison would be to the likes of the French, who could make the semi-finals. I think we could make the semi-finals. Comparing it to Germany, I mean, they're the world champions. They are leagues better than us. We just have to hope at the Euros they get knocked out by the Spanish before we reach the finals.
Yeah, you look at the French squad, and they've only got like the likes of Pogba and stuff coming through, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, England aren't the only team who have international problems. I do think this is close enough to the best side we could have announced at this time. So this is probably one of the few times I'm not complaining terribly about the England sides. I would like to have seen Eric Dyer involved. I think he's been very good so far this season.
He's been quality. I think he should easily be in that team.
I think James Ward-Prowse should have also been in that team, and those are the only two things I probably would have changed.
With Eric Dyer, I think they need to settle into the position with him, because jack of all trades don't tend to have brilliant careers.
Well, although James Milner's almost on 50 caps, isn't he?
He's been the team. Dale Stevens is on.
Yeah, he's probably only played about 90 minutes, and he's got 50. He keeps coming on for the last 2 minutes of every international.
Who's that?
James Milner.
Boring James Milner.
I know, I'm being exaggerating there, but...
Right.
France up front, they've got the options of Griezmann, Benzema, Martial, Fekir, and Lacazette.
I'm sorry, do we really think Fekir is better than Walcott? I think in terms of our forwards...
Fekir's a very good player.
If we're talking about our forwards, and we're talking about fully fit, all of them just being looked at on paper, it's about even.
It is so not.
It is. Maybe Benzema is the only one who is probably an outstanding talent.
Griezmann.
No one knows about Griezmann apart from fucking FIFA. Come on, let's be real. Who here has ever seen Griezmann play? Bollocks. Bollocks if any of you have ever seen Griezmann play in a game. He's literally just a player who has a really good reputation and no one knows anything about him. His stats, no one knows anything. No one even knows what position he's even playing right now. Come on, which position is it?
He plays up front.
Yeah, he plays like a right forward.
Oh, okay, is that where he plays? Sure.
No,
I don't know. No one bloody knows. We can't check.
He's been playing as the actual striker.
Good for him. I'm sorry. It's just not that. There's not that much difference between the England squads and the France squads. They're at similar periods. They maybe have a few more outstanding players in the likes of Pogba and Benzema. But if we're comparing ourselves to anyone, the French is a good comparison.
Valbuena is a good player as well.
He's a good player. He's also a midget. Right. Let's
That doesn't make him a bad player, just 'cause he's small.
move on from that. What does it?
Varane?
Raphael Varane or Varane or however you pronounce
Yeah.
it. He's pretty good, but he's still young. He's not at a much greater level than the likes of John Stones or someone like that. He just plays for a big team. Right, we'll move on. Chris had a discussion idea, which is what does it take to get an England cap nowadays? Because Dele Alli has just been called up. He was heavily involved in the under-21s. He is featured fairly regularly for Spurs so far. Has he only been featured for the England squad because he's playing for a fairly big side regularly?
He's a class player.
He's young as well, which helps.
He's raw. He's fresh. He's awesome. I think Hodgson deserves credit for calling him up. I reckon this guy can go on to be the next Jack Colback. I really do.
Wow, that's a
high praise indeed. Okay, but there's serious discussion. What does it take to get an England cap nowadays, do we think?
Joining Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea or City.
being able to kick a ball on a pitch and being English.
Okay, the England discussion has just folded into crap. We're all just miserable.
No, I've been serious.
We are miserable
You have to
gits.
being English and playing for one of the big clubs. It seems.
I don't even think being at a big club. You've got John Joe fucking Shelby in there now.
Yeah, but he's good.
Shelby's good.
He was quality in the last two games England played,
He
man.
played well for England, to be fair, even though I'm not a fan of his.
Yeah, but
I
he's
think he's
about
awesome.
big
Yeah,
name
he played well
players,
against San
big names.
Marino.
Big fan of a bold centre.
Okay, one at a time.
Actually, against San Marino, you'd expect it to be a striker, and yet a striker didn't get man of the match. That's surely impressive for the lad.
No, he's awesome.
That's better than being man of the match against Germany or someone.
Who were they playing again? Can you just say that?
San Marino.
San Marino.
Switzerland.
You can only play the
Lithuania
teams you're
and,
facing. Okay, but let's try and go back to point instead of all just talking over each other. Do we think it is just a matter these days of playing for a big club and playing regularly, or do you actually have to be playing well, be it an informed player? Do you have to have a big reputation? What does it take to get an England cap?
If you're not playing well, then you don't play regularly for a big club, surely.
I don't know about that. Rooney seems to be mastering that one.
Because of the way it's so much more of a squad game than it used to be. If you're not playing well, you're out of the squad. And yeah, if you're playing for a big club, it goes without saying that you're playing well if you're consistently in the side. Unless you're a top player like Rooney or Sterling, or looking at the rest of the England squad, there's no one in particular.
Kane at least had a good half season before he got called up. His lads played 3 times.
Well, Kane started getting good about November, and then there was a fairly big period where there were no England fixtures. I think about 4 months.
Apart from Rooney, who is there in awful form at the moment in the squad? Is there anyone?
Well, Phil Jones is in absolutely no form.
Sterling has been in
Played
very
30 minutes of the league so far.
Sterling, Gary Cahill's been in bad form. Both of those players. I'm just going to have a look over it quickly now.
Harry
I
Kane
don't know what form Jagielka's been in, but he's still shit.
Adam Lallana hasn't been in great form. He's barely been playing.
Yeah, Harry Kane hasn't been in great form as well, but I think he's actually played quite well though for top.
Yeah, he's been playing well. He just hasn't got great stats. That's fine. Danny Ings hasn't played very regularly. And he hasn't been in great form.
Yeah, but that's down to Brendan Rodgers playing left wing, full forward, back forward, left defending and all.
The other point I'd make though is if Hodgson was to drop them, you'd be complaining because we'd be saying he should be having a settled 11 ready for the Euros, and that's what he should be doing. He should be sorting out the exact 11 that he wants as his main team.
Right, but my complaint would be that Roy Hodgson, and with this England squad, is doing no particular strategy whatsoever. There's not a settled 11. There's not players being picked on reputation or being picked on good form or being picked on who they're being played for. It's just complete scattershot. I don't complain about the players that have been picked in this particular team, but I do genuinely believe that he just looks at a list of English players every time there's a call up and goes, he's not bad, he's alright, he's doing alright at the moment, he's playing football, he's playing for a big squad.
You say, hang on a minute, you say Rooney and Sterling are in bad form. If it was to drop them, there'd be riots.
I don't think there'd be riots, I know people burned down Croydon because they were unhappy, but I doubt there'd be riots.
No, seriously.
Yeah, because he's calling people idiots.
If someone dropped Rooney, I think they would probably be knighted by the general populace and also hated by everyone in Manchester. But
No,
I'd be disappointed.
Also, everyone hates Sterling nowadays, so...
Yeah, but he's young. He's young. Just give the kid a hug.
Yeah, no. Hug a hoodie. Right, this discussion is a train wreck, so we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the second part of our game.
Right.
Absolute shambles.
Hero, stop acting immature. You're supposed to be leading the discussion.
You're the old people. You're supposed to restrain us young people. You're the worst ones.
Alright, so the Southerners can go first this time. So last weekend, West Brom celebrated their 3,000th top flight game.
Hooray.
I want you to name the other 10 clubs who have played more than 3,000 games in the top flight of England.
10 clubs.
When you say top flight, is that just Premier League or is that First Division?
Well, since forever. So
Okay.
Premier League, top flight, Division 1.
Oh,
This should be piss
we
easy.
can't confer this time, can we?
Yeah, because they take
No,
it to them. We
we-
do. It's still the same.
No, if we convert, we're giving away stuff to the opposition, surely.
Oh. Okay.
I do know what he means, but yeah.
So, right, Nick, shall we go for Manchester United?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, they've played 3,633 games. Oh, sorry, 3,000. Yeah.
Well, I'll say Arsenal.
Yeah.
Shane, can we go for Aston Villa?
Oh, that was mine.
If you want, we can go for Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, please, Christopher.
Yep.
Can we go for Liverpool, please, Hero?
You may.
Thank you. Liverpool, please.
Okay, yep.
Shane, can we go for Arsenal, please?
We can go
You
for
can, but
Arsenal,
I've already
Nick.
picked it.
It's already
Oh.
picked up.
We could have gone
But-
for Arsenal, Nick.
Should we go for Everton?
Oh, is that going to...
It will be, because I know why. I'll tell
Okay,
you
we'll
why
go for
when we get it
Everton. We'll
right.
go for Everton.
Everton are the most. They've had 4,300.
Yeah, because Everton and Villa's the most
shit.
played top flight game of all time.
Damn,
Just-
that's good stats, man.
Do you think?
Well, they were one of the originals.
Wait,
weren't
you've got all the top 5.
do you think West Ham?
I don't. No.
That's the risky one.
That would be mine, but if you've got a better suggestion,
I would say the pensioners.
Just
Who are they?
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yep.
all right.
Shane, what do you reckon? Shane, do you reckon Tottenham?
Let's go for it. Let's go for Tottenham.
Yep, Tottenham. Yep.
Boom.
Newcastle. No.
Yeah, Newcastle will be one.
Yep, Newcastle. So you've got 2 left.
Right. Ooh.
I feel like the last two are going to be teams who aren't currently in the Premier League.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking more Forest Leeds, but they have been out of the Premier League for a while. Forest especially. Forest haven't been in it since bloody like 2000 and something. Like,
Should
they haven't been, in fact, they haven't been at this side of in the 2000 zone, have they? This century.
I think Coventry were also one of the teams who were the founding members of English highest league football, weren't they?
Let's not shout anything out because we have to use our brains here.
I think we should go for either Coventry or Leeds. I'll let you decide.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Let's just calm down. Yeah. I'll back you up on Leeds.
Okay, we're going Leeds.
No.
Oh,
You
damn it, Nick!
idiot.
Do you think
City.
Derby County possibly?
No, Man City.
Oh. Fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like that, but I suppose I'll trust you.
They've only every now and again had a dip into the lower leagues. Don't think of them as
All right,
the 90s team.
Suspense is killing me. Come on.
I think we should go West Ham or Derby, but if you want to
No.
say you go for that.
It's Derby.
Right, what are you going for? You've decided?
It's Man City.
Yes.
Oh, fuck me.
Have we lost?
Oh, full house.
You let down the South.
Right,
lost.
the other team you could have had was Sunderland.
Oh,
I was thinking then, but I didn't really want to say it because I just presumed it would be wrong.
that wasn't even hard though. We should have done that. Oh, we were just assuming there'd be some tricky ones in there. That would require some
I don't
football
think
knowledge
Leeds was- I don't
rather
think
than
Leeds
just
was-
naming Premier League clubs.
No, I don't think Leeds was a bad shout, to be fair.
And Coventry were one of the founding members of English football.
No, they weren't.
They were definitely up there.
I think Sheffield United were.
Yeah, so the end of round 2,
Coventry
Northerners
definitely
have full
not.
house at 10.
United or Wednesday. It's one of the
only club to have been in both the Third Division North and the Third Division South. So they've definitely spent a long time in the bottom leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were up there maybe early on.
Oh, well, we've lost 2 games.
No, still one more to go.
What? Oh, one more game to go. We can pull it level.
Yeah. Well, what's the next discussion?
Right, okay, discussion I want to quickly move on to. I want to try and quickly mention this.
Weekend preview.
FIFA. With FIFA. This isn't a rant, this is more like an informing thing. The Swiss have announced they are investigating Sepp Blatter, as we talked about last week, and I said that was a very good thing. Sepp Blatter has now responded by saying he will not drop out of the presidential election. So to clarify, the election is still going to happen, but Blatter will still be standing in it. So he's still up for being president. In terms of whether or not he will realistically actually be able to have that opportunity, or whether or not he'll be just killed by the Americans or the Swiss before then, I'm not so sure. But if he does stand in the election and he isn't being completely ram-raided by the Americans, I would say he's probably going to win. So this could be a very terrible thing for world football, because the Africans will still vote for him, the Asians will still vote for him, the Caribbean countries will still vote for him, and then he'll win. So, yeah.
Do you think they would still vote for him now?
Let me put it this way, all this crap was still happening in the last election, and they voted for him then.
Yeah, but it wasn't to the degree that it's been...
Everyone knows Blatter is dirty.
It's pretty public that he's been investigated for criminal acts now. It's not that it was just hearsay before.
I'll put it this way, Platini's being investigated as well, which is also news, and the FA have even said we're still backing him. When we talk about corruption at this level, it's kind of the corruption where they all know it's going on and just no longer care. So they will vote for corrupt people as long as they think it's going to do them good, and they won't care if they get caught up on it. So, yeah, it's a very bad thing, and I don't really know which way this is all going to fall with FIFA now. It could be very bad, or it could end up being very good. Let's just hope the Americans just assassinate Blatter very quickly. Okay, I want to talk about Man United.
Hooray!
Are they title challengers?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, we had a very no there, so let's go to that. No.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Okay, we'll go to Richard first. Richard, why are they not?
As soon as injuries start creeping in, they've already started going on about them being tired, then they just don't have the backup in the squad to sustain a title threat. I think the next 3 games in the league will be quite
I'll be surprised if we're still
statement.
top after. Was it Arsenal, Everton, City? I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've played Liverpool.
If we're still top after them 3,
we've played Liverpool and Spurs so far as sort of the bigger clubs go. We beat both of them, but I think there's bigger hurdles to climb. I think you can't at this stage of the season to be top is fantastic, but there's a long way of the season to go, and if we get third come the end of the season, that will be a great season.
If Man United aren't title challengers, then nobody's the title challenger, I think. I think when you look at how badly City have done, Arsenal...
How badly City have done? They've had like 2 bad games.
You think with City at the moment, it's like they've got injuries to every single key player.
City have been the best side.
Okay, Anthony, you've been replaced by Robocop.
And probably the main...
Anthony, you've been replaced by Robocop, so we're going to have to cut you off there. Okay, Jesus Christ. Anthony, stop talking. Right. Nick, you said they are title challengers.
Yeah, I just think they look. As I said earlier, the midfield. They've got a lot of leaders in midfield. Defence is looking a bit shaky, but I think Chris Smalling, he's looking the real deal. And I just think
what has happened to Chris Smalling?
And Anthony Martial up front, if he can keep up this form, wowzer. And they've obviously got Rooney, Depay.
I still think we're missing a leader though. Just in the.
I think they're missing a leader at the back, centre back, but I think midfield.
I don't know. I think Chris Smalling's taking over a role. I
was going to say, yeah, Smalling.
Chris Smalling, that game that he played v City, where he got sent off.
Yeah, that was for turning.
I remember calling on the podcast at the time that was his last ever game for United.
You did. I remember you said that.
And I think that just must have been a turning point for him.
He heard this podcast. Chris Smalling listens to this podcast and was like, right, I'm going to prove Hurrah wrong and become the best defender.
He does live in Maidstone.
Well, it's just totally turned him round. He is now the best centre-back in the country.
I would by a mile. And he's been eating his Weetabix, either that or as UEFA have released a report saying that there is likely to be high-spread doping in football. Chris Smalling has a really great chemist.
That Vidic and Ferdinand had a bastard son together, and he is the result. Because he is just complete.
Even Cahill and Stonesy, we're looking all right on England, looking all right on the centre-back front.
For me, my concern about Man United is goals, because I don't think Rooney's going to get a lot of goals over the course of the season. Martial is going through a purple patch, but I'm not convinced it's going to last over the course of the season. I think he'll have a good season, but I don't see him getting more than, say, 10 above that. Maybe in all competitions he'll get more than that, but I think in the Premier League I think he'd do very well for a first season to get about 10. And after that, Depay isn't really firing in the league. I'm not sure they have the... Yeah, but Matt, he's not the goal threat, he's the goal creator.
No, I think it'll be one where the goals are spread out through that sort of attacking quartet.
I don't think
there'll be a main striker.
But I think for Premier League like competing sides, I think what they tend to have is that goals spread across the entire team, but they also have one player or two players who then lead the line in that. And I think that's where Man United are maybe lacking. If they can win enough games 1-0 United, then they could end up being challengers. But that's what they're going to have to do over the course of the season, because I don't see them being able to completely roll teams over in the way a juggernaut City or Chelsea can do. So that's my concern.
Some of the times that they... I'm sort of backtracking on what I said before now, but some of the times when they have won titles in the past, it's not been with a huge goal scorer. There's been times...
I remember Ferguson used to say, it's like as long as his forward's got 50 goals between them, he'd be happy. Like back when we had Sheringham, Solskjaer, Cole and York, he said if they got 50 goals between them, he's happy with that.
There was a lot of sort of 10 to 15 goal strikers around then.
Okay, but can we see Rooney, Memphis Depay and Martial, who I think are the three main attacking goal threats, getting 50 goals in the Premier League between them?
Yeah, maybe.
Really? Because that's at least 15 goals each.
Maybe not.
it's a big number.
They've been getting about 3 goals a game the last sort of 4 or 5 games.
I think a lot of other players in the United team contributes more. Had a couple. Hurrah, you've had I think Schweinsteiger will in the end. Matters had a good season so far. I think you'll get a lot of contributions from the rest of the side rather than just 3 players.
My point is that I think Premier League winning sides they do have that where it's spread out across the entire team, but there's always someone who leads the way. Chelsea last year they had goals across that team, but it was Costa who led the way. Man City, Aguero, but they had goals across the entire midfield and from the centre backs. So I think that's what Man United are lacking at the moment, a genuine goal threat. A few years from now that could be Martial, but I don't think at the moment
is we need to bring in Ronaldinho, who's been released.
Lewandowski.
He's available on a free transfer. He's been released by
Fluminense or whatever. Right, okay, we'll move on from this discussion because we are running out of time, and we're going to move on to the final game.
Hooray!
Yay!
Right, so like last week, if you imagine 10 boxes in your mind's eye.
Bloody hell!
Oh no!
Huh?
I wasn't here.
Imagine 10 boxes in your mind's eye, numbered 1 to 10.
Okay.
So Northerners, you're going to go first. So give me a number between 1 and 10.
7.
7. Okay. In 1975, an international match between Chile and Uruguay was abandoned after how many players were sent off?
Anthony was not even sperm at this point. How can you?
Thanks.
I was. About.
We need 8 players to play a match.
Our team has to be reduced to 7 players.
No, if you have less than 8 players, you forfeit the match. Yeah, that's the same point I'm making. So at least 4 players have to have been sent off. So I don't know, 6. Could be anything.
Let's just think.
But it's at least 4.
Well, it could have been abandoned just because it was all too violent. It could have only been 2. They could have just had a fist fight. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's happened in the Premier League. That happened with Lee Bowyer and someone else who I forget. But yeah, sorry, Richard.
It could be a trick question. It could be none.
Stop interfering, Shane. We're what's the word? Convulsing.
You're convulsing.
Do you want to say 6? I was going to go 5, but do you want to go 6?
5.5. No, I don't mind. 6 is the first thing that comes. I don't know. That's a random guess because it's more than 4.
That's certainly true. Go on, then, go for 6.
6.
No, it was 19.
Jesus, that's also more than 4.
Is it?
Okay, Southerners, what number do you want?
I think we should go for my previous tactic, Nick, of 8.
Yeah.
8.
Oh, you like this question.
Yep.
Why were non-league side Collington forced to call off a minute's silence to mourn the death of their oldest fan in 1993?
Oh, I better know this.
What was the side?
Congleton.
I definitely know it because Congleton's about 5 miles away.
What do you think? Why would you have to call off a minute's silence?
Shush! Shush, I know Congleton as well, but shush.
I swear I know this. I swear I read this a while ago.
Can I have the question read again, please?
Why was non-league side Congleton forced to call off a minute's silence to mourn the death of the club's oldest fan in 1993?
I think I know this one. It's because they scored an own goal, isn't it?
No.
Can I say?
Yeah, you don't get a point there.
Yeah, because he wasn't dead.
He walked in during it.
I thought they scored an own goal right when they were going to do the minute silence.
What? What? Oh, I don't even know what says there.
That's a trick question. I have to presume he's dead.
A minute silence in the middle of a game.
The crowd goes quiet. I don't know.
What?
Okay.
Can I just ask what that's got? Can I ask what that's got to do with the number 8, please?
How do you know this is more important, Chris?
What?
How did you even know that? What the hell?
I have to do research for this. Okay.
What did you Google for that?
Northerners, number?
Go on, you can pick.
1.
1. It's probably quite an easy one, this one. Who is the oldest goal scorer in the World Cup history?
Oh God, you told me last week, but I can't remember for the life of me.
I'm immediately going towards Miller.
I can't remember. I remember because Chris told me last week, but I don't know.
I'd say Roger Miller.
Roger Miller? Is that your quick answer?
Yeah.
Yep. 42 years
Yeah,
old.
I'm not going to interfere with this one.
Okay, Southerners.
Nick, I picked last time and it was a bad decision.
Number 1.
What do you have, number 1?
Oh, for Okay, that's also a bad decision. Let's go for 2.
Number 2.
Okay. Why did India withdraw from the 1950 World Cup?
Shame.
Sorry, I wasn't even listening.
Why did India withdraw from the 2002 World Cup?
No, 1950 World Cup.
This is something to do with the fact that they played football barefoot, isn't it? And they weren't allowed to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know, I remember that.
Barefoot?
Yeah, they played football barefoot, and then they weren't allowed to.
Yeah, the regulation said you have to wear boots. And so they withdrew. So.
Which is quite sensible.
Yeah.
I'd love to trot on one of these.
Yes! Got a point.
Yeah. Okay, Northerners.
What numbers have we got left?
We've got 3 to 6 and 9 10.
I picked 9.
Go on then.
What is the most common scoreline in World Cup history?
The most common in normal football is 2-1.
90 minutes. I was going to say 2-1 was my thought, but could it be a draw? After 90 minutes, I assume.
Guys, I'll give you a clue. It's 5-0.
5-0. 2-1, I think, is the sensible thing. I would go for that.
No, I don't think it's as high.
Make your mind up.
I said that the most common one in normal football, but World Cup is generally a bit more of a crap affair. I would say it's 1-0 in World Cup.
I thought 2-1 before you said anything. I think 2-1, but you go with what you think if you want.
I think it's 1-0.
It's 1-0 your answer.
Can I overrule you?
If you go on then, that'd be right.
Okay, 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. It's 18.8% of games of 1-0.
Great conferring, lads.
2-1 was
We're
second.
conversing, Shane.
You're convulsing.
Okay.
You're condescending.
That's good. What have we got left?
Got 3 to 6 and then 10.
I reckon 10, Shane.
Are you going for a big 10? We'll go for a big 10.
Okay. In 2004, Spurs signed Jermaine Defoe from West Ham for £7 million plus which player?
I swear I know this. I do know this because I was looking up Jermaine Defoe the other day because I was thinking about signing him on FIFA.
You must have been on the floor.
No, I was AFC Wimbledon and I was trying to figure out if Jermaine Defoe was any good.
Don't let Nick contradict you.
What was the question again?
It's in 2004, Spurs signed Jermaine Defoe from West Ham for £7 million plus which player?
No, I know. And
That's what, they signed 2 players?
Yeah, Nick, it's your all-time favourite player.
Freddie Canute, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's Zamora.
Jack Colback.
Yeah, you're not. No, it's not.
It is Zamora.
They didn't sign him from West Ham.
No,
he went the other way.
It's Bobby Zamora. Bobby Zamora joined West Ham. Bobby Zamora.
Yeah.
Bobby Zamora.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, Bobby Zamora.
I apologise to any spastics in there.
If I didn't have Nick on my team, I wouldn't have thought of that then.
He scored a dickhead goal against Derby at Wembley. I don't like him.
Oh, Bobby.
3 to 6.
Also, Jermaine Defoe had the audacity to retire after half a season for AFC Wimbledon.
3.
3. How many brothers and sisters does Alex Song have?
No idea. 7.
That's
this is just a random number shit.
That's very presumptive. What makes you think African people have lots of children, Anthony? Why are you being so racist?
You might have half.
Could have been 0. This could be a trick question.
He's going to have an absolute bucket load.
He wouldn't be asking the question if it was a boring number, like 2 or 3.
It could be a trick question.
I don't think you'd be asking the question unless it was some interesting number, like 7. So I think it's something like that. I don't think it's like 2, 3, something sensible. I think it's something weird and African.
Weird and a weird African number. Oh yes, it's the African number.
Yeah, 7's my random guess, but there's no thought in that.
This show is an absolute travesty.
Alright. What's your answer?
Go with 7 then.
Can I have a guess?
Yeah.
Oh.
30.
After you just called us?
He actually Shane's closer. It's 27. He's got 17 sisters and 10 brothers.
Yes, Shane. He did have lots of brothers and sisters.
That's crazy.
Man, his dad was busy.
Some of us?
Has 4 been had? I want 4.
You got 4, 5, 6.
I want 4.
Yeah,
Let's have
4.
4.
Okay. Eden Hazard, Gary Cahill, and Fernando Torres have all called their son what?
What? I didn't even get that.
Eden Hazard, Gary Cahill, and Fernando Torres all have a son called what? The son all has the same name.
Can I be like really obvious? I'm gonna go with like
Jamie.
No. It's gonna be because I want to say it's either Leo after Lionel Messi or Cristiano after Ronaldo. Should we go? Which should we go for? Ronaldo or Messi? I want to go for Messi. Nick?
Yeah, I agree.
We'll go for Messi, Leo.
Here's Leo.
Are you kidding?
It is.
That was so obvious.
The site I've read is apparently because it's named after the lion on the Chelsea badge.
No, it's named after Messi.
All right, so you've just drawn that.
Chelsea.
All right, so
That
you
was
just drew
so
level.
obvious.
Drew level.
Tie break, don't we?
Oh, you've got two questions left. So
Ooh.
you got 5 or 6.
5.
5.
Should have picked 6.
Where does the Borussia and Borussia Dortmund come from?
It's what you do when you brush your teeth. That's the worst joke I've ever made. That is actually the worst joke I've ever made.
Anthony's been drinking. It's not funny. Right. Richard, Anthony.
Sorry. Well, there's Borussia Mönchengladbach as well. I'm assuming it's a German word for like United or.
I gotta say, I do actually know what this means.
I think it means the old part of where they come from in Germany, which is Prussia. I seem to recall.
That's actually quite a good idea. Yeah.
Because Germany is based around like a multitude of federal states that came together in like the late 19th century.
Are there any other Borussias?
Well, there's Gladbach as well.
Well, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, we'll go with that.
They are from the Prussia region.
That sounds pretty reasonable, and I think to say anything else would be utterly ridiculous.
Shit.
So, that.
That's what he said. The answer I was giving them is there's a brand of beer brewed in Dortmund called Borussia.
But then there's other Borussias.
That's not the right answer. It is because it's Prussia. I'm pretty sure it just means Prussia.
Yeah, I'm doubting it now. Oh.
I definitely know that one. That is Prussia. They got that one right.
Okay.
Thank you, Shane, for being honest.
So I could have been harsh and was like, yeah, it's a brand of beer. Why didn't I? No, it's beer. It's beer.
Okay. I'll do better research on German questions next time. Okay, so you're left with 6.
There's better be something I know. Otherwise, I want a fucking point for that last one.
Yeah, what does Bayern come from?
Osama bin Laden is said to be a massive fan of which club?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, hang on.
I know who it is. It's Arsenal. It's Arsenal.
I'm
Pretty
sorry.
sure it's Arsenal.
It's definitely not going to be Arsenal.
Is it? It is. I swear.
I
know it is.
It might be actually.
I
They
know
are the
it is.
Gunners.
Well, no, I was thinking more because Bin Laden's family owns a lot of stuff in London.
Right. Well,
It's an old family, but
We'll go Arsenal.
let's go for Arsenal.
Yep. Arsenal.
Damn.
It must be because of the Gunners.
I was thinking it's because of the family. Man. Bin Laden's a big family.
I didn't do a tie break.
Can I interrupt? This is really going to be... Rich is probably going to hate me. I've just looked this up on Google. Borussia is a Latinized form of Prussia, a popular term in naming German clubs. However, in the case of Borussia Dortmund, the name was taken due to the nearby Borussia beer brewery in Dortmund. So
you got it wrong.
So for other German clubs, they're called it because of Prussia. But in Borussia Dortmund's case, they called it because of the local beer. So that is a horrible, nasty question.
So you technically got that one wrong, which means the Southerners win.
It's open to interpretation, I think. I think that's just a horrible question.
Alright, so the Southerners win. Because the Northerners found out the right answer.
By default. By
Honest.
You're a dick.
By default. By default. By default.
I wouldn't want a cheating victory.
Cheers, Anthony. To be fair, if I hadn't tried to say it was Prussia, you'd have said you were wrong anyway. So, yeah.
See? They're doing-
It's just because we're all so
Making me
damned
doubt-
honest.
making me doubt myself.
Hero isn't.
Apart from
Hero
that.
not going. I wouldn't have been able to sleep
I'm getting in
tonight.
touch with Borussia fucking Dortmund.
I wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight knowing we won unfairly.
The Lannisters win again.
Got it.
Congratulations.
I actually just fist bumped, by the way, so, yeah. Okay, thank
Right,
you.
I'm on the Borussia Dortmund website.
Take
What
your...
does Borussia mean? Borussia is a Latin word for Prussia.
Right.
That's on the Borussia Dortmund website.
Right, but who won the war for Westeros? So, that's an extra point for us. We'll just say the Southerners won because we have London and you have Liverpool. Should we settle on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for joining us on this train wreck of a podcast.
Can I just say that this will be my last podcast until after Christmas? Not because it's been that bad. No, on a serious note, I don't know if this can get serious.
Go for it.
I'm starting season 2 of the V2 Fancast, which I'm really looking forward to. I don't know if any fans are interested. If you are, if you get in touch with the Twitter, or you can follow me, it's Antonthology. Details in the description, but I'm looking for fans to talk on the V2 Fancast about their club. Season 2 will be coming soon, and I'm really looking forward to filming it. And yeah, due to the time that takes up, I won't be on the podcast until probably after Christmas. So I will miss you all and have a great Christmas.
Yeah, it's a great excuse if you want to just talk about football and have it go on the internet and have lots of people view it. Do get in touch with us and you can be on that. But thank you for joining us for this week. Please look us up on Facebook at V2 Football and on Twitter at V2 Football. Please get in contact with us if you want to send us any articles at... Chris?
Football at v2journal.com.
There we go. So please look us up on all these things. Please follow us and all that lot. Thank you for joining us and goodbye from me.
Farewell, old friends.
Good night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
son off,
good night.
Anthony.
Yeah.